Hello and welcome to my video. Thank you for being here. Apologies in advance if you hear a bunch of cats in the background. Well, if you hear a bunch of noise in the background because I am fostering kittens and they're very noisy. Anyway, so I have 2 markets coming up in the next couple of weeks, so I thought it would be fun to take you along the process and show you how I prepare, show you what I'm going to bring, and also for you to see how the markets went and how the markets go. There are 2 local markets. I didn't have to pay entry costs for either of them. It's nothing like conventions or things that you see other artists attend. I think when you live in smaller cities, even though I live in Toulouse, which is a pretty big city, I don't really have access to conventions like you might see other artists do. So if that's a similar situation for you, then these are probably likely more the markets that you'll be attending versus those huge conventions. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's interesting for you. I hope for me that I sell a lot of things, because that would be nice. And have a great day. Before going into my setup and my plans, I thought I could show you what I'm planning to bring. For those of you who may not be aware of my work or what it looks like, I thought this might be interesting. So firstly, I have these moleskin notebooks where I customize the covers. The 3 that you see are lino printed and the other one is drawn. And then I have these little A6 postcards made from my Fungarary series I did back in February. So they're high quality scans of my gouache paintings. I think it's good to have a variety of things and prices. So the postcards are helpful because they're at a lower price point because they're the smallest print I have. Then I have these stencil artworks I created. There's 3 different designs, each depicting a different flower that blooms at spring. And then I offer a variety of digital art prints, so I've had a lot of these for quite a while. I'm trying to move a little bit away from prints in my store. They don't sell as well as actual products that have a function. And that's one reason that I started making more clay items recently, because I think it's fun to explore art that also has functionality. I think that's also why you see a lot of artists offering tote bags or pencil cases or keychains or anything that can actually serve with a purpose with their art on it. Now that I no longer live in a student home myself, I'm trying to think more about what people want to fill their houses with. So I'm looking at making bigger pieces that can fill a wall. And what you see here is my lino print set, shapes of blue. There's 9 different body positive pieces that can be either on their own or built up to make one larger composition with all 9. This series does really well on my Etsy store. It's the bestseller and also does really well at markets. I don't always plan out my market stands, but I think it's been April since my last market and I've gotten a few new things and made a few new things, so I thought that this time around it would be good to plan it in advance. Also because once you're there, there's a lot of other things that are out of your control. So I like to be at least prepared about how I'm going to set things up so that as soon as I have my place and my table ready and everything good to go, that I can set it up in a matter of minutes. Most of the things for this market I already had in stock, except the trinket dishes you saw me working on earlier, so I didn't have to do a lot of extra prep, which is nice. I have a lot of new things planned, so I've been trying to get rid of a lot of the stock that I already have. I try to have a good range of prices on my stand so that people who don't carry a lot of cash on them, don't have a lot of money to spend, can still get something. So my range for this market was between €3 up to €20. So for €3 you can get a postcard, and for €20 is the biggest trinket dish. And then I have all the prices in between as well. I have a couple things that I like to include on my stand to try and create some visual hierarchy. So instead of having everything laying flat on the table, I have some of these easels as well as some other print holders, and that way there's more things for people to look at in different areas and it's not all cluttered. So I'm trying to find a way where all of them will be sort of present enough and seen without hiding things behind other things, which isn't so easy. The thing I also struggle with is that most of my prints have A4 and A5 sizes, and I want that to be clear because I don't really speak French very well. So I kind of want everything to be clear on the stand itself to avoid me having to speak my broken French and people not understanding. Also, as an anxious person, I like to try and cater for anxious people, so I try to make sure that everything is visible and clear so that they don't need to ask questions if they don't want to, because usually I don't want to when I'm visiting other people's stalls. So that's sort of what I'm trying to keep in mind as well. This was the first market we went to. I went with my friend Jessica, and it was a queer festival, so the market was part of the festival. It was really nice, it was a great atmosphere, all the people were really friendly. It was just good vibes, honestly. Also exactly who the target audience is for my art, I think. So I actually had a lot of interest during this market, and it was one of my best markets. We were there from 10 until 7 p.m, so this was a pretty long market, and it was also incredibly hot. I think it was like 31, 32 degrees. They were also selling vegan food, which is great for me, and it was right next to our stall. I also got my hair cut because there was people doing haircuts, raising money for trans youth in France. The entire market ended up raising just under €2,000. So I ended up selling around 25 items at this market, mainly A5 prints. I don't think I sold a single A4 print. My best seller for this market was this print in the A5 size. I even sold out of it, as well as my handmade clay magnet. A lot of people like these, and I think it helped that they were at a lower price point. I got my order of stickers come in the mail. They unfortunately didn't make it in time for the first market, but they did for the second, so I'm gonna bring them with me. They're actually for a shop update that I'm planning on my Etsy store, which actually will be live by the time this video is up. The rest of the stuff for the shop update I'm gonna keep exclusive to my Etsy store, but because I have quite a large quantity of these stickers, I think it would be nice to bring it with me to the market. And it also adds some variety to my stand because I don't have any stickers until now. These are my first order. I think they're really cute. And these are some of the other items you can find in my shop updates. So I have this little set of bug magnets. I've been working on these for way too long, but they turned out super cute. And then I also have a new print of a collage piece I made for those of us who need a little reminder to get out of the house every once in a while. I'll have my Etsy store linked below, so if you're interested, you can check that out. Headed to my second market. Didn't think I was gonna make it because I was really sick yesterday, but I'm feeling better today. And my partner is driving me. He's currently getting croissants. So let's hope it goes well. I don't know. Spoiler alert, this market did not really go well. There was a small flow of people at the start. It started around 10 a.m, but around 12, that dwindled into nobody. So I think most people were taking their lunch. So I think between 12 and 2, we did not see a single person. So I did some sketching in my sketchbook to try and pass the time. I find sketching to be a really good thing to do at markets so that you don't pressure people who are coming up to your stall, but I don't like being on my phone because I think that makes you look sort of uninterested. So sketching is a good middle ground activity. I think that's sometimes the case with local markets. You don't really know how well it's being advertised or marketed and whether people are going to come. So this was one of those markets where not a lot of people came, which means I sold almost nothing. Luckily, I was with two friends, so we were able to chat and pass the time pretty well. This was both of their setups. They both have really cute things. If you want to, you can find links to their social medias in the caption. But overall, it wasn't the best market ever, but I did have a fun time with my friends, and it was also nice to meet some other artists that were also presenting there. As you saw, the markets both went very drastically differently. This was my worst market and my best market, and if that doesn't prove to you that it's not about the art you make, it's about who's connecting with your art, then I don't know what will, because within a couple of weeks with all the same items, there was people who were really loving my work, and then 2 weeks later at the next market, there were people who just didn't connect to it. To be fair, there was also very little people at the second market, but I think as artists doing markets, we shouldn't connect our value of our art based on whether people buy things or not, because you really never know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great day, and see you in the next one.